Happy New Year, everybody. Onorato and Miller. We're way past the new year, but the holiday break for the show, our first time back since before Christmas. And what a time to return with the show. College football playoff semifinals as we do the show live on a Thursday. NFL wildcard weekend. A lot of good stuff football-wise to look forward to. Head coach openings. The draft order is set. Just a lot to lock in on. We're going to talk with Andrew Catalon, who had the privilege, I think he would say, of being the last person to call play-by-play for an NFL game at the old Highmark Stadium for the Buffalo Bills. Unless, of course, the Bills host the AFC Championship game against the Chargers, which obviously seems very unlikely as a 6-7 matchup in the AFC playoffs. So we'll talk with our buddy Andrew Catalon, of course, former News Channel 13 sports anchor. We'll talk with Malachi Kirby, an actor who is leading the way for a Hulu hit series called 1,000 Blows. And we will show you maybe the sweetest RV on the market, courtesy of Alpin Haus. If you like to tailgate and you have the means, this is the only way to travel the country or to pull up to your favorite stadium. We've got our picks for NFL wildcard weekend coming up as well. Let's go. It's Onorato and Miller.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpin Haus.
Alpin Haus, Marcella's Novice Performance Industrial. We'll get to our Dirty Difficult Done Performance Industrial, our Marcella's MVP of the month. But again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because live on a Thursday, if you're catching us on TV Saturday night or Sunday morning, you already know the outcomes of these games. College football playoff semifinals. Miami, the 10 seed, the team that a lot of people were like, do they belong? And I don't buy into like the more you win, the more you prove you belong. I think we knew Miami's an extremely talented team. The losses to SMU and Louisville, not even make the ACC championship game, it was enough for me to say they don't belong. They didn't earn their way in. I knew they were good. Everybody knew this was a good team. And what the defense has done so far to Texas A&M and Ohio State, kind of exactly what you knew it was capable of with all that NFL talent, the way they rush the passer. This is the Thursday night game. Miami, a 3.5-point favorite against Ole Miss. I am rooting for Ole Miss the rest of the way. And again, if you're watching this on TV over the weekend, you might be like, dude, they're already out. I'm rooting for Ole Miss the rest of the way because I am just getting great enjoyment. And I'm not a Lane Kiffin hater, but I'm getting great enjoyment out of the idea that a coach, any coach, doesn't have to be Lane, would leave a job where the team is in the college football playoff for what he perceives to be a better job, and maybe LSU is, right? Better resources, better facilities, pedigree, history, all that stuff. And yet, the team you left goes and wins a national championship. Lane will still get paid those contract incentives. He's going to get paid by LSU. But I am now 2 rounds into this playoff in on the Rebels. And I just think it'd be great entertainment for Ole Miss to at least get to national championship night on Monday the 19th. Because then we would all go, can you imagine if they pull this off without their head coach? Can you imagine leaving a situation that ended in a national championship? I'm rooting for Ole Miss the rest of the way. I don't know if they can beat Miami, but I'm rooting for them the rest of the way. Oregon and Indiana is just lining up to be the best weekend, the best game maybe of this entire weekend. We've got 5 straight days of football when you consider the NFL wildcard playoffs. And Oregon, Indiana might be the best game we get of those 5 days. They met in the regular season. Indiana went out to Eugene and won by 10. It's in line with everything Curt Cignetti has done since he arrived at Indiana. Impressive. Impressive. And yet I think Oregon is the right side here. I'm going to take the dog in the Ducks, and I'm going to take the dog in Ole Miss here too. I don't know if either one really pulls off the win, but I'll take the hook on the 3.5 because I think these are close games. And again, on the record here saying that I'm rooting for Ole Miss. Sam, Happy New Year. I know it's January 8th as I do the show live here, but I'll still say Happy New Year. Here's my buddy Matt Cutler, big Bears fan. And we will get to this game. Even though Ash is not with us here on this week's show, she still made her picks. We'll still run through her picks. Matt is a huge Bears fan. He knows I'm a huge Packers fan. What other way would you want it? Saturday night, Bears-Packers in the playoffs. Only the third all-time postseason meeting, I believe, between these two franchises. One was like back in the 40s, I think. And then one was not all that long ago. NFC Championship game. Green Bay went to Chicago and won a really close one, and then obviously won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Big B.J. Raji pick 6 in that game. Helped Green Bay get to the Super Bowl that year. Some good NFL wildcard weekend matchups here too. Right? No Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrow. Still, a lot of intrigue. The AFC side of things for sure. Your college football playoff semifinals will be locked in. I'm sure you will be as well. All right, so that leads us now to our Marcellus MVP of the month.
It's time for the MVP of the month, sponsored by Marcella's Appliance Center.
This one was easy. And yes, it's a makeup in a lot of ways for the month of December. It's Fernando Mendoza. Won the Heisman, first and only player in Indiana Hoosier football history to do that. Obviously, they only give the Heisman out to football players. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. And he was phenomenal against Alabama. He continues to deliver. Every time he's doubted, the way I'm doubting Indiana in the semifinals, Fernando Mendoza delivers. And so he is unquestionably here the Marcella's Appliance MVP of the month. Can he win 2 more? And I don't know how many more years will go or how many like examples of Indiana we'll have to kind of live through and witness before we just understand and willingly admit, is maybe the better way to put it, that in this age of not NIL, pay for play, and transfer portal, it doesn't matter if you were historically the worst power conference football team of all time, which Indiana was. Look at the win percentage. You can turn the thing around really quickly. The right head coach, the right quarterback, spend the money in the portal wisely, do big things. Fernando Mendoza, been a lot of fun to watch. Can he get him to the finish line? I can't wait. We will sacrifice sleep Thursday and Friday to watch these college football playoff semifinal games. There's no doubt about that. All right, we've got our NFL picks coming up here. We've got a bunch of guests on the way. Andrew Catalon called the final Bills home game at Highmark Stadium. He will join us to talk about that experience. We'll talk with Malachi Kirby, star actor, lead role for the Hulu hit series 1,000 Blows, back for season 2 this weekend. We're going to take you inside one of the sweetest RVs on the market. Maybe it's the absolute top of the line. Wait until you see this thing. And Spam-A-Lot for you Broadway musical fans, Monty Python fans, more importantly, at Proctor's this week as well. All of that still coming up here on the show. Onorato and Miller. We're back in a minute.
Imagine coming home after a long day and slipping into your own personal hot tub from Wellness Spas. Let the stress of the day melt away as you soak in the therapeutic benefits of the water. Our team at Alpin Haus wants to help you relax and enjoy the advantages of owning your very own hot tub. Now offering a whole new lineup from Wellness Spas, featuring models from their City Life and Peak Life lines. Alpin Haus Pools and Hot Tubs. Visit us at Clifton Park Center and Route 30 in Amsterdam.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus. And now, Dirty, Difficult, and Done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
So there's never a job too dirty or too difficult for Bill Miller and his team to get it done. Will Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin be done after one more run? I think it's fun to have them in. Tomlin, whether or not they could get to the AFC Championship, I don't think they will, but even if they make a deep, deep run, Tomlin might walk away from the Pittsburgh situation anyway. Might go to do TV for a year. You've probably heard that. If they lose wild card weekend, could be a bunch of teams that are calling Mike Tomlin. Right, we have 8 openings. Could be a bunch of teams that want Mike Tomlin. Anybody want Aaron Rodgers after this? Or does Rodgers say, hey, I wanted to just get to the playoffs one more time, see what was left in me, 42 years old. I can walk away feeling like I accomplished something in Pittsburgh, which he certainly has. I think they're both done in Pittsburgh after this run. And I think Rodgers retires. But Mike Tomlin is certainly the one to watch there. Speaking of the openings that are across the NFL right now, here's how I rank them. Baltimore, ton of talent on defense. Derrick Henry still getting it done at 32, and Lamar Jackson is a franchise quarterback. Got to keep him healthy. Giants, they have a lot of offensive talent on rookie contracts. You can step in right away as a head coach, make some big moves, spend wisely, and I think immediately become the second best team in that division behind Philadelphia. They have a top 5 pick too, by the way. Falcons. I know this is like figure out the quarterback and everything else is in place in Atlanta. You're going to get a new GM. You've got a willing owner in Arthur Blank. Atlanta. Dolphins just fired Mike McDaniel on Thursday. The Tua thing goes away after a year with the cap hit. You reboot this thing, almost complete reboot in Miami. But again, an owner willing to spend can do things in Miami. Vegas, Tennessee, Arizona, Cleveland. I don't know. Put them in a hat and pull one. I'm going to go Vegas here because you have the number 1 overall pick. You have Brock Bowers. You have Ashton Genty. You got to fix the offensive line. And I think you can do that by trading Max Crosby, getting draft picks, getting players for him, one of the best pass rushers in the sport. I'll take the Raiders. Titans, new stadium soon. Cardinals, I don't know. Browns, forget about it. Not always the most attractive jobs, you know? All right, our buddy Andrew Catalon up next here on Onorato and Miller.
The biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer and bring the family because admission is free. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year. And once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, January 8th through 11th.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable.
This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on. For cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair, you can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
Old Highmark Stadium is a thing of the past. We think. Strange scenario where maybe the Bills were to host an AFC Championship game. Could you imagine? Andrew Catalon, our buddy, called the final game at Old Highmark Stadium. Rich Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium. I like to call it the Ralph. Is there anything more Bills Mafia, Andrew, than taking snow from the stadium, using it as water to filter for beer?
It tasted delicious. So
did you taste it?
Oh, I did. Yeah, so I did. I had to try it, the Blizzard Brew. I did taste a little bit of a difference. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a new trend, but for the last game, or what we think, as you said, is the last game, I thought it fit nicely.
Yeah, unbelievable. Sponsor of the show, Saratoga Eagle, the owner of that beverage distributor, and Bud Light was heavily involved in that. So he was telling me about the process and why they're doing it. I just thought this is perfect Bills. In your meetings with players, coaches before the game, did you sit with Josh Allen? How much of that moment did you talk about aside from the game itself, that this was going to be the last game? And I don't know, just how much of the focus of the week was that?
Yeah, so it was pretty much the focus. As you know, that was, essentially a meaningless game. I mean, the Bills knew they'd be the 5, 6, or 7. They had to rest their players, including Josh, which is why we did not actually talk to him. We spoke to Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, Mitch Trubisky, Tre'Davious White, Deion Dawkins, and I would say that 80% of the conversation was about the stadium and just the fan base and what it meant. And, I think Sean McDermott was actually in a really tough spot on Sunday because, yeah, you could say I could get the 5 seed or but I got to protect my guys, but I want to send off the stadium on a good note. So who should play, who should not play? I could tell he was really wrestling with how to navigate that situation on Sunday. And I think he did a really good job. To me, you have to prioritize health with the playoffs on the line. Josh did what he did a year ago. He took the first snap and he ran out. But just the way that McDermott was talking about the stadium and how he went to the stadium the night before the game so he could walk around and not have to worry about it on Sunday. He said he took a different route to the stadium on Friday so that he could stop and just kind of look at it for a while. I heard a lot of those types of stories, and I thought it was pretty cool.
When did you know Allen would take the first snap and that would be his only snap?
We were never told that. We all kind of figured that was the way it was headed. You look back at what they did last year in Week 18 in New England, and I figured he would follow a similar roadmap, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, there was no way he couldn't take at least the one snap, right?
I think that this consecutive start streak is important.
Yeah.
It's the longest active by a quarterback. It's the 9th longest all time. And to me, why not? Go out there, go wave to the fans, and away we go.
What was the vibe? I mean, you were talking about like McDermott had to kind of prioritize health, but also winning mattered here in this situation to a degree. Good thing he was playing the Jets. What was the vibe? I had a buddy who's a season ticket holder who's been a Bills fan forever. He's from the Binghamton area. And, his overall response was like, it was really cool. It felt like a preseason game in a lot of ways. He wasn't listening to you on CBS. That was the difference. What was it like being in the booth?
Yes, on the field, the product was a preseason game in many ways. But I never really thought that I was calling a preseason game just because of all the emotion. I'll give you a few. When the gates opened, I've never seen that many people come in right as soon as the gates opened. They wanted to all soak it up and soak it in. We had Steve Tasker in the booth for a short segment. He was emotional. I had dinner with him Friday night, and he said, I was a kid. This is where I grew up, and now I'm moving on. And then when the game ended, I turned behind me in the booth to start packing up my things. And there was a food services person who would come into the booth just to look out on the field and she was bawling, bawling, crying. So I just think that, yes, if you're not a Bills fan or you don't live in that Western New York or Central New York or upstate New York community, you're probably thinking like, okay, well, they're moving across the street. What's the big deal? But all the memories and nostalgia and just the way that community is so tightly knit, I think it meant a lot to a lot of people up there.
It's a great story. I mean, look, I consider myself a big sports fan. I was never a season ticket holder to a particular venue. I can't imagine that emotion pouring out of me with the closing of a building. A team moving, sure. But it just speaks to the next level that I guess Bills fans are. Did you do the math in terms of how many games you called at that stadium? You were calling preseason Bills games before you were working for CBS full time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've done 10 years of the preseason, so that's anywhere from 3 to 4 games. And then, obviously a number of regular season games. Yeah. So it's been a lot. That booth I've definitely had some good memories in that booth. But again, the new stadium looks tremendous. It's right across the street. I think it's going to be really neat too.
Going to Jacksonville, Bills fans should be concerned about what?
This is a red hot team and they are legitimate. I mean, I don't think they have a lot of fear. I think maybe teams of the past you saw in Jacksonville, you wonder just in that division, do they have what it takes to make a run? Trevor Lawrence in a big spot. I think they're legitimate. They have a really good head coach, and they have a ton of momentum right now. I really think the winner of that game Sunday is the favorite to get to the Super Bowl for the AFC. And that's no disrespect to Denver or New England or any of the other teams, because you could certainly make a case for all 7 teams in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl. But I just feel like the momentum that'll come out of Jacksonville by whoever wins that game at 1:00 on Sunday, they'll use that to make a deep run here.
Is the fact that there is no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar, is that good for the NFL playoffs?
I think it's interesting just for what I just said, in the sense that you can make a case for any one of these teams. I mean, I think in the past you'd be like, okay, who's going to go into Arrowhead and win? Now you don't really have that feeling. And I think the quarterbacks that are in the AFC playoffs are very exciting. I mean, I think Drake May's the MVP. I think this could be it for Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Josh Allen has a great chance. Justin Herbert has a lot to prove. I mean, I think he's got a lot of pressure, even though they're the 7 seed, to try to go on the road and win a game. So I kind of like this mix that has developed in the AFC.
Who's the most difficult team to call play-by-play for? Whether it's like scheme or unpredictability from a quarterback, is there one team you stand out and you're like, okay, I need to be careful about getting ahead of myself, maybe in terms of what they're going to do on a 3rd and short, because they might take a shot, or a quarterback might really extend the play when you don't expect him to?
I wouldn't say necessarily like a scheme that is difficult. I think if you're in college and you have like Army or Navy, that is very difficult. Yeah. And I have had a few of those. I think the biggest thing for an announcer these days in terms of difficulty identifying players are some of these new uniforms that you see. I think about week 18 in San Francisco. Those 49ers uniforms were very tricky. The Lions have had some tough ones. Oh. Sometimes the numbers, the font for Tennessee and Tampa Bay. I mean, these are all nerdy things that I'm thinking about. But I think it more than the way an offense is run, that presents more of a challenge than anything these days.
So nothing like now it's just become normalized here, where 3rd and short, you know what to expect. 4th down, they're going to punt. And I get that your role is not to try to guess for the audience, right? That's the analysts mostly. But you're around the game as much as anybody, really. And so it would be kind of natural to anticipate, right, what you think is going to happen or what should happen.
Yeah, I think that some of those short yardage tush push plays have certainly changed the way that, a lot of times they're running right to the line of scrimmage and it's a tight end that comes in, not necessarily just the quarterback. Those are some new wrinkles that you've seen over the last couple of years that you have to really be aware of.
Most fun head coach to be around when you're in a Thursday or Friday meeting ahead of a Sunday game?
Most fun to be around. Wow, I like that one. Well, I am and was a big John Harbaugh fan, and am fascinated to see, where he ends up now. He's always been one of my favorites, so that's been good. Mike McDaniel's an interesting guy in Miami. You never really know what he's going to say.
If you sat with him for an hour, how much of the conversation would be football?
That conversation could go in a number of different ways.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's taken my boards out and looked at like some of my colors. We've talked things beyond football. He's definitely an interesting guy. I got to say, like, there's no meeting I really go into with a coach where I'm dreading it. I mean, all these guys, they know the drill and they've seen me around there enough, and they trust Jason McCourty and Charles Davis, where, some will give more information than others, but there's never a problem, I would say.
He's nerdy in a different way, and a high level football thinker, regardless of the results Miami has had. Who's a player where you're like, man, this guy just sees it differently, offensive or defensive side of the ball, just sees it differently, talks about it differently, maybe in a way that like you don't get often, and maybe McCourty and Davis don't even hear all that often.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen is a guy who really gets it. That's not maybe answering your question, but you can just see that, when Josh walks into a meeting, he knows everyone's name. He knows that it can be fun. It can be serious. He can kind of go in a lot of different directions. I'm just thinking more recently because of the Bills. I mean, Deion Dawkins is a character. We all know that. He's great in these meetings. So, there's certain teams where you might avoid a certain player because you're like, we're not going to get much out of them, or they're a little quiet, and you learn who that is over time. But I'd say for the most part, all these guys are great.
Do you go through football withdrawal when you stop calling games the way we do as fans when we stop watching games?
I do. I love it. It is a lot of work, but no, it is for everyone. Everyone has, I'm reading the newspaper clippings of every city every day. When I didn't have to read them Monday, I was like, that's kind of nice, but I'd much rather read them and go call another game this week than not. So yes, it is. I do get the withdrawal. And now that it's a sport we talk about all year round, you get a little bit of that still, but I'll be looking forward to getting in the booth for the preseason in August, no doubt.
Watching Carmelo Anthony's kid play at Syracuse makes you feel how? Old.
Yeah, old. That's crazy. I saw they had a nice win against Georgia Tech, which is good. They need a few more of those, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times now, even in the NFL, where it's like, oh, it's the son of this player, and you're like, wait, really? Like already? How is that happening? But 46 years old, I better get used to it.
Ash and I are going to go to the Dome to see Cuse Miami in a couple of weeks. Man, we haven't been to a Syracuse basketball game together in a long time. We have to go where?
Well, so I haven't been to a game at the Dome in a long time either. I was actually looking at the schedule, trying to see if I can sneak up there this season. We'll see how that goes. Okay. But I've only been back on campus once in like the last 12, 14 years.
What was it for? Alpin?
It was a couple years ago. And, a lot of things have changed. Again, the old part of this conversation. But Fagans is still there.
Yeah.
Varsity is still there.
Yeah.
basically right next to each other. So I would make a little double dip there.
We're going to do Fagans, and then we're going to class it up a little bit after the game and go to possibilities.
Okay. Yeah, well that's a good date spot.
Feels like the thing to do when you've got a dinner choice and you don't have to do the game day kind of rush with the crowd. Thank you, man. I know you got college hoops on the brink, golf as well. One rolls right into the other. Another incredible year. Highmark Stadium, Rich Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium, it ranks where in terms of atmosphere with games that you call?
Right up there. I mean, right at the top because of the fan base. I think that I can't believe how many people were tailgating for that game on Sunday who probably did not have tickets.
Yeah.
They just went to tailgate. You don't get that everywhere. And Lambeau Field, there's a similar type dynamic neighborhood, smaller community. Baltimore is a great atmosphere as well. There's a lot of teams rather. Seattle has a great home field advantage. Went there a couple times this year. But Buffalo's definitely, at the top.
Last time I tailgated and didn't go into the stadium or arena was way back in the day, Old Giant Stadium, Dave Matthews Band.
Wow.
Talk about dating yourself.
In the parking lot? No, probably not.
What's that?
Could you hear music?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not all that well, but then, and in that state, we were like, this is great. All right, man. I tried to let you off the hook once. I'm going to do it for real now. Thank you, dude.
You got it, Chris.
It's time for the biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer and bring the family because admission is free. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year. And once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, January 8th through 11th.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable.
This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
Man, it's always good talking with Andrew Catalon. Obviously had a great final Sunday of this NFL season, calling that game at Highmark Stadium, final Bills home game at that stadium. One quick note here. Melissa, loving the Bills. Yep. Maria calling me out for my NFL head coaching openings. Their head coaching openings, Maria. Your Bears got the right guy the last coaching cycle. They got Ben Johnson. He's not a top 5 head coach right now, but you don't have to worry about filling a coaching spot. That's why the Bears weren't on my list. All right, NFL picks. Let's do it, right? Let's do it. We're getting ready for Wild Card Weekend. You know the deal. The records are not pretty, okay? There's a quick look at them. I don't like to waste any time on it. Here we go. Rams and Panthers, Saturday, 4:30. Ash and I are both on the Rams. It's a big number, 9.5, but I just don't see how Carolina scores enough points to hang around here with, I almost call them St. Louis, Los Angeles. Packers and Bears, I'm the homer pick. Give me Green Bay. These have both been close games in the regular season. Packers get healthy here with Jordan Love back. Josh Jacobs, give me Green Bay to cover and win. Ash likes the home team, Chicago Bears. Bills and Jags, oh boy, both on Jacksonville here. Home dog, as we like to say. The Jags can run the heck out of the football. The Bills can't stop the run. No quarterback hotter than Trevor Lawrence right now. Just feels like a bad spot for Buffalo on the road. Niners and Eagles, this number has gone to 5.5 in most books. We're both taking the Niners here. And yet I think if the Eagles win, They might go to the Super Bowl. Figure out my brain. I can't. Chargers and Patriots. I'm taking a swing here with the Chargers going to Foxborough. Won't be easy on a Sunday night, but my goodness, Justin Herbert got to win a playoff game somewhere here, and I'm taking it now with Harbaugh against the Patriots. Texans and Steelers. Tomlin is great on a Monday night after playing on a Sunday, but we're both taking Houston. 3.5, road team favored. Here we go. 6 games, 6 picks. Look, the good news for us is it can't get much worse than it's really been this season. That's for sure. Those are our picks. We've got more NFL on the way. Up next, though, Malachi Kirby, star actor for the Hulu hit series 1,000 Blows Season 2, is back.
Time for the biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show, for 4 days only, January 8th through 11th. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer, and bring the family because admission is free. Take advantage of exclusive show specials, save thousands on a huge selection of fifth wheels and motorhomes, and we have travel trailers starting as low as $136 a month. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year, and once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, January 8th through 11th, presented by Alpin Haus, helping families have fun and create memories since 1964.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
1,000 Blows returns to Hulu Season 2, streaming Friday, January 9th. And Malachi Kirby is the star of the show, and he's with us here on Onorato and Miller. Malachi, thanks for doing this with us, man. Congrats on the success of this show so far. First thought I have, having watched Season 1 and an opportunity to talk to you now, when's the last time you were in a real fight? Or close to maybe throwing punches?
I've only had one real fight in my life. It was in school. I think I was about 12.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to stop the fight the whole time. Like I am like really just not a violent person. So yeah, it's been a long time. Unless you can't play fights. I play fight with my cousins all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's that's different. I mean, like
we get rough with each other.
So was it difficult to play the aggressor or an aggressor, to have that aggressive mentality in this role?
Do you know what? I wouldn't say so. I feel like Hezekiah actually isn't an aggressor. I feel like he's the most peaceful person, and he becomes aggressive by circumstance and necessity. You know, he learns how to fight. He's not a boxer when he comes to London, which is the interesting thing for me. He actually wants to be a lion tamer. You know, he's like, again, just like, I just want to calm down the situation. But he ends up becoming a boxer. And honestly, it was really fun to step into. And I think probably because I knew it wasn't real, it allowed me to go there even more, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And this is not your first time playing an historical role, right? Where it's based on true events or times that the world has gone through. And so as you get ready to play a role like this, even though you are acting, how much of the historical self-education have you gone through to be prepared to maybe put yourself somewhere mentally that you've never been?
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's such a privilege to play roles like this. I feel like most people in the world read books about history, and to be able to actually step into it and put the clothes on and dive in is such a privilege. And it's really important for me, especially when it's based on real people that actually existed. Hezekiah Moscow, there was a little bit of information about him, but not a lot at all. So most of my research was more into the time period as opposed to into him, just because there was very limited information on him. So it was looking at the 1880s. It was looking at the rise of boxing as a sport. It was looking at what Jamaica looked like at the time and researching into that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun for me. It's a very short, time frame to do it. And I think I had about a month's prep. And that month is also to learn how to box for the first time, which I'd never done in my life. I'd never even seen a fight in terms of boxing before. So there was a lot to do with that. There was working on the accent. There was everything, learning my lines, of course. So there was a lot to do in the space of a month, but I did as much as I could.
That's crazy, man. When I was in school, you'd be like trying to study up until the very last second before the teacher hands out the test. And I always remember the teacher saying, if you don't know it now, the next 30 seconds are not going to help you. How were you able to absorb so much in such a short amount of time?
The grace of God, man. Honestly, I had no kind of plan with this. It's just kind of cram. It's just cram as much as I can, watch as much as I can. I have a thing where sometimes I record my lines so I can listen to them whilst I'm sleeping, and I find that really helps me.
Wow.
And yeah, just absorbing as much as I could. It was a thing for sure, but it was a lot of fun.
I joke with actors all the time who aren't American that like they make the American accent sound like it's the easiest thing to do. And maybe it speaks to our level of education. I'd raise my hand on that one. Is it difficult to wipe out the British accent and to go Jamaican?
No. Yes and no. I think for me, like my heritage is Jamaican, but I was born in London. Yeah. I'm used to hearing the sound, but also it's different for me as a British person speaking Jamaican as opposed to a Jamaican person speaking Jamaican. Like if I go to Jamaica now, they're going to call me English boy. Do you know what I mean? Like no matter how Jamaican I sound, they can just tell. And so, yeah, there was still quite a lot of work to do in regards to that. And then also because it was in the 1880s, Jamaicans sounded different then, and they used different words, they had a different dialect. And so it was kind of really trying to get as specific as I could to the time period.
All right, I got one more for you here. I know we got to let you run. This show has gotten great reviews, and obviously it's back for a second season again, streaming on Hulu January 9th. When did you know it was good?
I knew it was good as soon as I read the first episode.
Seriously?
If I'm honest with you. Yeah, I saw all of the ingredients of this show. And honestly, it was kind of like an answered prayer for me. I remember speaking with my agent about 6 months prior to hearing about the first audition. And I said to him that I really want to play a boxer. I want to play someone who really existed. I want it to be a period piece, and I want to do it all in London. I didn't know that was all going to come in one package. But then the job came about and I was like, okay, I already know this is good because it's what I've asked for. Do you know what I mean? And then it was more than I could have imagined, honestly. And then the cast came through and I was like, yeah, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. You're a BAFTA award-winning actor, rose to prominence even before that award with Roots. Continued success with this, Malachi. Thank you so much. The show is 1,000 Blows on Hulu. Malachi Kirby, thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on. For cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair, you can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
It's time for the biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show. For 4 days only, January 8th through 11th. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer and bring the family because admission is free. Take advantage of exclusive show specials. Save thousands on a huge selection of fifth wheels and motorhomes. And we have travel trailers starting as low as $136 a month. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year. And once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, January 8th through 11th. Presented by Alpin Haus, helping families have fun and create memories since 1964.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
Yeah, back on O&M now and ahead of a huge football weekend with the college football playoffs, NFL wildcard weekend as well. A lot of good stuff. And we've got another segment here in the show to bring you before we say goodbye. If you're a Monty Python fan, you'll have some fun with it. Spamalot is at Proctor's. We're talking with a couple of the actors who are part of that. Your updated odds here to win the Super Bowl. Seahawks, tough. Defense is incredible. So reliant on whether or not Sam Darnold turns the ball over. Period. Plain and simple there. Rams are the team I still love, and I get it. If you've watched them lately, the defense has let them down in moments, and you just can't simply outscore people in the playoffs. You've got to get stops. The Rams need to get back to defensive form where they were really good. The Broncos are the number 1 seed in the AFC. They had won, 11 in a row at one point before the Jags went to Mile High and got them. And the Eagles are sneaky here. I really think so. I think if they get by San Francisco, they probably should, they become very sneaky here. We'll see. You want a little value? Everybody likes a little value. Jaguars. How about the Jaguars? To at least get there, maybe to win the AFC. Could certainly happen. All right, we'll come back here on Onorato and Miller to close things out. But before we do that, our conversation with 2 of the actors from Spamalot at Proctor's this week, and an incredible look inside an RV that is top of the line from Alpin Haus. We're back right after this on Onorato and Miller.
For the biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer and bring the family because admission is free. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year. And once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, January 8th through 11th.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable.
This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
Monty Python, the Holy Grail. It is what the musical Spamalot is based on. Yeah. Tony Award-winning show, won Best Musical on Broadway, and it's currently playing at Proctor's this week through Sunday. And we had an opportunity to talk with a couple of the performers. This is ridiculous.
For somebody who somehow wouldn't really know what a Monty Python production is, how would you describe it?
I would say very seriously silly comedy that is serious about being silly.
It's being super serious in how bonkers it is. The show is ridiculous. We are we are being absolute clowns out there, taking ourselves deadly seriously. That's what I think is the true test of comedy. You have to believe it and you have to be serious no matter how stupid it gets.
We have a lot of audience members who are fans of the original source material and fans of the original show as well. So some people are with us. There are a few lines that people say as I'm saying them because they know what's coming. And then I get to wait for that beautiful moment where it runs by them to the person they brought.
Because we all know the movie The Holy Grail so much, there are these little snapshot punchlines in all of the sketch comedy, and sometimes the audience even say them before we've said it, and there's quite a lot of play with that going back and forth, so there is some preconceived ideas of what we all know from the movie, as it's so famous, the language in this.
As soon as I was finished in the audition room, I realized that I've been watching Monty Python with my aunt since middle school, and then my theater teacher in high school was obsessed with it. We even did the coconuts in our UIL one-act play competition, and I had to do them for myself. So I feel like it's manifested in the perfect time in my life, really.
This is a role that, particularly the song that I sing, the song that goes like this, I've been singing as a joke, maybe in karaoke for years.
What's the enjoyment you get out of knowing an audience is as familiar as one might be with this material?
It's great because I know that, theater is a mirror. We're supposed to, show people what they need to see, and these people came prepared already. Theirs is clean. Their mirror is clean.
And as you travel in and around different shows, different venues around the US, you do get an entirely different audience. And an audience's energy is quite literally what we feed off in this show. And sometimes you have to hold for the laugh, but the laugh does always come, or at least, we're in our 4th, 5th week of this tour. It hasn't not happened yet. So here's praying.
It's time for the biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show. For 4 days only, January 8th through 11th. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer. And bring the family because admission is free. Take advantage of exclusive show specials. Save thousands on a huge selection of fifth wheels and motorhomes. And we have travel trailers starting as low as $136 a month. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year. And once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, January 8th through 11th. Presented by Alpin Haus, helping families have fun and create memories since 1964.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
We're outside with Jonathan Baker from Alpin Haus ahead of the Saratoga RV Show. You brought the baddest one you've got in the lot, it looks like. This thing's incredible.
Oh yeah, this is the Lineage Super C by Grand Design. And this thing has got all the toys. It is a bad one.
So when people go to the RV show over the weekend, this is a showstopper?
This is a showstopper, Super C. Everybody's got to see it. Come out to the show and check this one out.
Let's check it out right now. All right. Now, I know you've already set it up for us a little bit here. I'm going to use terminology that probably isn't correct, but you've got the wings extended already. So, look at all the room, right, that is created by pushing out some of the sides, bed over the top of the main cabin here. This is as top of the line as it gets, right?
Yeah, this one's got 2 slide outs. Like you mentioned, you have the extra bed here and also the dinette that's going to go down so you can bring all your family and friends with you, so you're not the only one having the fun.
If you want that luxurious feel, I've got it here. Recliners, cup holders. Look at the almost a farmhouse-sized sink, backsplash over the oven. It's incredible.
Well, what we found nowadays is customers, they want to get out there and they want to explore, but they don't want to leave the comforts from home behind. So this way they can get out, do what they want to do, make the memories they want to make, see the things they want to see, and give nothing up along the way. Tons of technology on this vehicle, things from like solar panels. This even has Starlink, so you'll always be connected no matter where you go. The Super C class in general is really starting to gain momentum more and more. And actually the Class A's of old, which a lot of people used to purchase, a lot of people are coming to this simply because of the fact that you get a lot of extra towing capability. Also, this vehicle is 4-wheel drive, so you're going to have a lot more, I'm going to say, reach to where you can actually get to. So some of the memories maybe you had to stop a little short of, now you can keep going straight ahead. You've also, in this type of vehicle, here is a cabinet, and if you wanted to bring that washer and dryer, you have the space to do that here. You can add that. Also a full bathroom.
Yep. People who may be doubters, right, at the level of comfort a vehicle like this could provide, what would you say to how this really lends itself to an entire family, maybe even a lone traveler who just wants to do it big and still be comfortable?
One of the biggest things for all RVers is not only to have the things they need, but have a place to put them. So you mentioned one thing, storage. You're not going to feel like you would in some of the entry-level vehicles where it's like you're sitting around your things because you have no place to put them. And once again, as your whole family's here, you can cook dinner, you can watch TV, everybody has a place to sleep. And that's just what's happening inside the motorhome. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be great outside the motorhome too, the adventure.
And that's it. Driving across the country or wherever you're going to go as a sports fan, I would go stadium to stadium and just tailgate the heck out of every single game day. This is really cool. All right, let's find out how this baby drives, huh?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's do it.
You remember these mirrors up front, that's the widest point. It's just like driving a truck, only you got to remember you got a little bit out back. And as far as the handling with this Fox Racing suspension, it handles like no other Super C like this on the market.
The show you've been a part of for a long time now, what should people look forward to when they decide, yeah, I'm going to take a trip up to Saratoga and check out these incredible motorhomes trailers?
We're going to have an assortment, everything from lightweight towables starting at 1,600 pounds that even a Subaru or a Jeep could tow, all the way up to large fifth wheels, 42 feet long, that people may want to stay on, 6 months out of the year down in Florida. We'll have something for everybody, and one of the best parts is admission is free. We've got the things that you can think of and the things that you can't even think of. We have our camping advisors who will actually also be at the show, and they'll be there to give not only, suggestions, but ask you questions to give you the best suggestions on how you're going to use the RVs, so that when you get out there on your first try, you have everything that you need and you're not sitting there like, oh man, I have to run out and get this. So we want to make sure, we fully outfit you with everything that you're going to need so you're ready to go right from the moment you arrive. So we're going to have factory reps on site from several of our manufacturers, including Grand Design Motorized, that can answer all your questions direct from the source. And when they come out, they normally want to go back with a lot of sales, so they're going to bring some extra incentives to help not only you purchase an RV, but us sell some RVs. So it's a great win-win for customers and Alpin Haus. It is a full-service, full information event, and you can come not just to see RVs, but to learn a ton about them, get your questions answered, and find the right one that's going to set you up for a great year with your family.
All right, we're back from a quick little trip around the neighborhood. I'm jealous because I know this thing can do a lot more than we just did with it. Somebody very lucky to be driving away with at least one of these, I can imagine, after the RV show. 4 days.
Yep, 4 days we're going to be there.
It's time for the biggest RV event of the year, the Saratoga City Center RV Show. Explore the latest RVs the industry has to offer, and bring the family because admission is free. This is the lowest pricing you'll see all year, and once the show ends, so do the savings. Don't miss the Saratoga City Center RV Show, 8 through 11.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable.
This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpin Haus.
All right, wrapping things up here on Onorato and Miller, college football playoffs, NFL wild card weekend. We'll give you another look here at the picks Ash and I are making. If you followed us all year long, you know not to bet the house on this. But we're both taking the Rams. I'm taking the Packers. Both on the Jaguars. Niners split on Chargers, Patriots. And we both say the Texans find a way to get it done over the Steelers on Monday night. Thanks for watching Onorato and Miller, everyone. Great to catch up with our buddy Andrew Catalon, who again called the final home game for the Bills at Highmark Stadium. Hope you enjoy all the football this weekend. 5 straight days from college football on Thursday all the way through NFL on Monday. Enjoy it, everyone. We will see you next week for Onorato and Miller.